through RPBA manage 4 SSAs, and Cindy and I are the assigned managers. I manage SSA 24, which is the Clark Morse Glenwood Special Service Area, and Cindy manages the rest, which are SSAs 19, 43, and 54. And we'll go more in depth into what those numbers mean and what streets they pertain to. And again, welcome and thank you very much for joining us today. We hope you learn a lot. We do have a very tight and dense agenda since we're presenting on all 4 SSAs at once. So bear with us. We'll go as quickly as possible. Again, my name's Carolina. I've been the Special Service Area Manager for Clark Morse Glenwood SSA 24 for the past 6 years. And I'm going to start us off with today's presentation. And let me just really quickly let you know that Cindy and I will go through the presentation, and then at the end, we'll have a question and answer section in case you have any questions. At which point you can either put your questions in the chat or you can just unmute yourself and ask your question. So what is a special service area, or as we call them, an SSA? You can read the dictionary definition from this slide, but to put it in simpler terms, if that's even possible, which I don't think it is, an SSA is a program funded through a tax levy within a specific boundary. So every property owner within a specific boundary pays into the program. The program is an economic development tool used to beautify a commercial district. After property taxes are collected throughout the year, they're sent to the city of Chicago and then distributed to a nonprofit organization identified as the sole service provider. In this instance, it's Rogers Park Business Alliance to administer the funds. So today's meeting is basically a presentation to you, the community, about how these funds are spent. Now, what exactly do SSAs do? So many of the projects funded by the SSAs are visible to the eye, while some are more involved with economic development strategies like administration or, for example, business attraction initiatives. Here on this side, you can see a bulleted list of projects funded by the SSA. So there's public way maintenance and beautification, so things like public car, sidewalk cleaning, etc. District marketing and advertising, business retention and attraction, special events and promotional activities, security, facade improvement, and other commercial and economic development initiatives. Today, you're going to learn where SSA funds were spent in respect to these categories. So now I'm going to pass it over to Cindy Plant. She'll go in depth about these categories and SSA boundaries, commissioners, and average spending for 2020. Cindy?
Thanks for the introduction, Carolina. My name is Cindy Plant. My title here at RPBA is Economic Development Manager, and a big part of my job duties is serving as Program Manager for 3 of the 4 special service areas, starting with Howard Street, SSA 19. So the boundaries for this district basically includes all of the Chicago portions of Howard Street between Ridge and Sheridan, including Gateway Center and a portion of Rogers Avenue. So that's the boundaries on the map here that you're seeing in front of you. And if you go to the next slide, we will talk about the fact that we are in the process of working to expand that boundary to include the Jarvis Square businesses. That's been initiated at their request. The timing just worked out this year that 2 of our special service areas, Howard Street as well as Sheridan Road, were due for renewal. Special service areas are created by city ordinances that expire after 10 or 15 years. And it just so happened that 2 of ours were up to go through the renewal process and get new ordinances this year. And that's the time at which you can make changes to district boundaries and tax caps. So the stars aligned, and we did submit the proposal as part of the renewal of SSA 19 to expand its boundary to include Jarvis Square, which we're really excited about. That'll be going to council for approval, and we hope to bring Jarvis into the fold in 2021. Next slide, please. So we have, each SSA has a board of commissioners that are technically appointed by the mayor. So We have lists of commissioners for each. They usually meet about monthly. So this is a list of commissioners for Howard Street. There's 4. We actually currently have 3 vacant seats. If anyone is here that owns a business or a property on Howard or lives on Howard Street and is interested in getting involved, I'd love to speak with you. But right now, we have 4 commissioners. I don't think any of them are here, but Gail Howard, who is a resident, Michael Smith at Harris RS, Carrie Sullivan at the Factory Theater, and Charlotte Walters from Lost Eras. Next up, we have the Clark Morse Glenwood Avenue Special Service Area. Carolina is the program manager for this SSA. It's one of our largest. The boundary covers both sides of Clark Street between Birchwood and Albion. And then Morse between Sheridan and Clark, and a bit of Glenwood Avenue north and south of Morse. Next slide, please. Lots of SSA 24 commissioners on the call this morning. Thank you all for being here. I'll just sort of run through the list. We've got Wally Anderson from Rogers Park Social, Roberto from Byline. I saw you join the meeting a minute ago. Irene Bermudez from CMSA. Good morning. Alicia Duncan, Lifeline Theater, Al Goldberg, one of our great area property owners, Chris Johnson, another property owner, Nick from State Farm, and Alan Smith. And most of you are here this morning. Good job. Thank you so much for being part of this. Then moving on to Westridge, actually, we are the contracted service provider for Westridge, Devon Avenue Special Service Area 43, which covers both sides of Devon Avenue between Kedzie and Damon, and a portion of Western Avenue between Arthur and Granville. Again, this is another large SSA, big group of commissioners here. I don't know that any of them are on the call right now, but Sunita Agniotri, Avi Berliani, Mohammed Junaid, Urshad Khan, Maura Nemes, Jeshu Akramani, Pete Belavanis, and Rebecca Vasquez. I don't think anyone's here from 43, but then the next one that's also one that I manage is Sheridan Road, SSA 54, which includes most of the Loyola University Lakeshore campus, and both sides of Sheridan between Devon and Farwell. And then a little tail that's an oddly shaped rail pin. Next slide. Sheridan Road was the other SSA going through the renewal process in 2020. And for both SSAs, that included a pretty lengthy community engagement process throughout most of the year. Despite the pandemic, we had to move a lot of it online, but we did several community surveys and community meetings, and all of that to sort of shape the priorities for not only this year that we're going through the renewal, but also future budget years and what kind of services we want to be funding out of SSA 54. I mean, the most popular are always things like neighborhood beautification, litter removal, economic development. And these are all things that SSAs are built to do. So it's great to have that kind of community involvement and have that kind of dialogue as part of it. So if we go to the next slide, I'll give my shout outs to my commissioners. I know several of y'all are here this morning. We've got Nick Anderson from the Hampton Inn, Chris Bell from Flats and Sharp, Jennifer Clark from Loyola, Tony Fox at the New 400 Theater, Heather Hill, and Sarah Lukens from Chi-Town Magpie, who I know is here somewhere. I can only see like 6 people on my screen right now. All right, next slide. So here's where we sort of go into budget. This is an aggregate of all 4 SSAs. And like the percentage of their budgets that go to each category. The categories are standard. Every SSA follows sort of the same budget format that breaks down annual spending into a set of categories that are the same citywide. The largest, portion of the budget every year for our SSAs is typically public way aesthetics. And that's a fancy way of saying neighborhood beautification. It's the items like litter collection, landscaping. Some districts, commissioners vote to do snow removal. Some do sidewalk power washing. These are all, sort of the infrastructure-y, ongoing cleanup and maintenance type of things, neighborhood beautification that go on in the districts. That's always the largest share of budget. followed closely by customer attraction. These are the more, fun, more visible things for residents and customers. Things like street fairs, advertising campaigns, social media promotions, all of those type of things go into the customer attraction bucket, and that's where that funding comes from. So that's always sort of the second largest budget category. Admin and personnel, the SSA management and personnel, that's me and Carolina, and also office rent and copiers and insurance and the sort of, operational things that are, not super visible to the public, but are critical to running, not just one before SSAs, our auditors, our attorneys, all that sort of stuff is there. Economic development is things like studies and planning. For this year, the cost of working with consultants and doing our community outreach for the SSA renewals was the largest thing in that category. And then we've got the sustainability in public places, which is typically things like bike racks and the little bike fix-it stations and little projects like that in the districts. So that's sort of the general overview of the kinds of things that the SSA spends money on. And we can move on to the next slide. I will be kicking it back over to Carolina to go into a bit more detail as to what public way aesthetics means and the kinds of projects that we've been doing this year. Carolina?
I'm muted. Hello again. Can you hear me now? Yes. Good. Okay. So as Cindy just mentioned, a large percentage of the SSA funds are allocated to public way aesthetics. This covers all the physical beautification of the districts, which includes public art, landscaping, holiday decorations, and public way maintenance. I want to take a moment to elaborate on why aesthetics are so important to a place. So aesthetics are more often associated with a sense of beauty, and with respect to the practice of public art and landscaping, aesthetics may also be defined as dealing with the visual integration of streets and the transportation system into the fabric of a landscape in a way that blends with or complements that setting. So this is important since the view to and from the streets and sidewalks contributes to the perceptions of communities and the quality of place. This is, of course, considering the safety of the community. Seeing beauty around our neighborhood makes people feel comfortable and happy, and the happier people are, the more they shop. So public art is very big in Rogers Park. This year, we're very proud of the 2 new pieces that have been added to our urban landscape. First, there's the new mural on Greenleaf and Clark titled Color Through Chaos. Painted by the Chicago artists CJ and Christiana. If everybody could mute their mics, please, that would be awesome. The inspiration for this collaborative design speaks to the current state we're living in regards to racial injustice and the world's uncertainty around COVID-19. CJ and Christiana wanted to do a piece of work that portrayed many different colors and shapes working together through this difficult time to create something beautiful and uplifting. They also wanted to give the people of Rogers Park and Chicago something to gaze upon in hopes of bringing more peace, positivity, and inspiration through the words and imagery throughout the production. Color Through Chaos serves as a reminder to not give up hope and that there is an amazing amount of resiliency within Rogers Park. Let's go to Sheridan Road and SSA 54 now. So Rogers Park is also known for its uniqueness, and our work through the SSAs reflect that very clearly. After a very rigorous vetting process this past year with the City of Chicago, Cindy and the SSA 54 Commission were able to have a new art installation approved for Sheridan Road, and that is these wrapped street light poles that you may have seen in the past couple of weeks. The cool thing about this pilot installation, which includes street light poles wrapped in what is called Bella Wrap, is that the material happens to be non-stick and non-graffiti. So nothing can stick to the poles, nor can graffiti be drawn or sprayed over the poles. The idea being that the district remain clean and clear of flyers and posters, which can make the corridors look cluttered and messy, while making it look creative and unique with customizable material, which can be replaced at any moment. So once the city certifies that this pilot program works, and depending on budget availability depending on budget availability, the Sheridan Road SSA 54 Commission will consider wrapping all the poles in the SSA, including all those ugly utility boxes you see around the corridor. Landscaping is another big line item in all four SSAs, but SSAs budgets. You may have noticed every time the season changes, the colors also change in Rogers Park. There are currently over 100 planters all over Rogers Park and West Ridge, as well as over 20 in-ground plant beds planted seasonally by a contractor who makes sure plants are watered and healthy for the community to enjoy. Anyone from Rogers Park here today have seen our crew around the neighborhood walking around cleaning up our sidewalks? Raise your hands. Yes. Cool. With the direction of our maintenance director, Brandon Harding, who's on the call right now. I'll introduce him later, maybe when we're not sharing screen so you could see him. Our maintenance crew goes out Sunday through Thursday to not only clear our sidewalks of litter, they also pull weeds, they remove graffiti, and wash windows along most SSAs. There's nothing like a clean home, and we like to keep the commercial districts just the same. In addition, some SSAs have contracted to have snow removed as a supplementary service to the business community. Contractors do go out after a specific amount of snow has fallen during a specific snow occurrence. And SSA 43 goes far and beyond to keep their sidewalks clean by providing an annual pressure washing service. The businesses in the community really appreciate this. And to finalize the public way aesthetics category, there's holiday decorations. All the SSAs participate in this initiative since this is a service that is strongly requested by their commissions and the community. This year, SSA 19 lit up its trees. SSA 24 wrapped light poles with shiny, colorful ribbon. SSA 43 has a beautiful, colorful light show along the corridor. And SSA 54 has also lit up its trees as well as the entire Loyola Red Line Plaza. We really hope these efforts help lift the community spirits during these tough times. So let's move to business district marketing. Business district marketing includes events like the very popular Taste of Clark Street. However, due to the circumstances we're in, we were forced to postpone these events for 2020. So stay tuned for what is coming in 2021, depending on where this COVID thing takes us this coming year. Fortunately, Cindy and the Howard Street SSA 19 Commission got creative and transformed the first ever Chalk Howard Festival into a pretty popular online experience throughout the summer and fall of 2021. They brought us Chalk Howard Street. Professional 3D artist Nate Baranowski hosted a series of Instagram Live takeover events. Each event featured a Howard Street business as artist Baranowski created a small-scale 3D art representation of a meal or product from the businesses. Did anyone get an opportunity to catch this awesome experience? We got a lot of viewers. I remember at some point there were like 115 viewers. So I think that's really good for us and for the businesses, of course. So one of Clark Moore's Glenwood SSA 24's major sponsorships include the district marketing program, which is usually found on Glenwood between Morse and Lunt, the super popular Glenwood Sunday Market. Rogers Park's very own farmers market is an exemplary engine that strengthens business and builds community every year during the months of June through October from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. This year, due to COVID, the market was forced to find a temporary home to accommodate city requirements. However, still serving the Rogers Park community that has learned to love and appreciate the market. This year, the market featured most of its usual vendors along with some new ones, offering local, sustainable foods and goods from within 200 miles of 60626. It served over 100,000 shoppers, a huge percentage of which are from the 60626 area, which is pretty incredible. Glenwood Sunday Market did continue with its food access program this year. GSM provided more than 26,000 in matching dollar for dollar grants and produce purchasing vouchers to link shoppers. Glenwood Sunday Market is definitely one of the neighborhood's biggest assets. And here's another Clark Morse Glenwood SSA 24 sponsored event. So for nearly 2 decades, the Glenwood Avenue Arts Fest, or as people call it, GAF, has been a free weekend-long arts festival that features over 120 artists, open studios, and live entertainment on 2 outdoor stages. Attendees view and purchase handmade artworks directly from the creators. The fest brings free live music, performances, and art demonstrations, street food and craft beer from local merchants on the cobblestone streets of the Glenwood Avenue Arts District in Chicago's historic Rogers Park neighborhood. This year, since residents couldn't come to the fest came to the residents. As usual, on the 3rd weekend of August, the 19th annual fest went mobile. The 2020 fest featured a moving display of local artwork on 2 video trucks, bookending local bands performing live on a mobile stage. There were tour routes into the residential streets of Rogers Park on midday and late afternoon on Saturday and Sunday. I thought this was a really creative way of transforming a festival into something that people could enjoy while keeping their social distance. I'm gonna hand it back over to Cindy so she can talk to you about business retention and attraction.
Thanks, Carolina. So yeah, like part of my duties here at RPBA, and in addition to being sort of general program manager for 3 of the 4 SSAs, I'm also responsible for business attraction. But because 2020 is what it is, we really had to pivot and focus a lot more effort this year onto business retention and supporting our existing businesses through the global COVID-19 pandemic. So different SSA commissions took different approaches to doing that. If we could go to the next slide, I'll start talking about what we did. Oh, we changed up the order, sorry. The other sort of ongoing part of business attraction and retention has always been our business improvement program, which provides some rebates for businesses to improve exterior signage and appearance. And then also development of a storefront guideline document meant to share best practices and inspiration with our area businesses as they work to plan for those types of improvements. This came out of the Vision Clark Street programming, but it's not limited to just Vision Clark Street. The storefront guidelines apply equally to all of our districts and even areas beyond as we work to encourage best practices and improvements to our storefront streetscape. If we go to the next slide, there's a couple of examples. We also did a guide to commercial development. The target audience for this is builders and developers to sort of help them get to know the community and processes and history involved in developing new buildings and substantial renovations of existing ones within our street corridors. In order to ensure, harmony with everything that's here and continue the great tradition that we have of beautiful and walkable streetscapes throughout our business corridors. If we go to the next slide, the other piece that came out of the sort of economic development, retention, attraction section is the 15 years of success summary report on the Howard and Morse Avenue street corridor plans that were drafted in 2006. So we're 15 years on from that, and sort of charting the progress that's been made on these 2 key corridors that have historically seen a lot of disinvestment, but due to the planning and guidance that's been put into place over that 15 years, just a ton of progress has been made that we're really proud of, and looking forward to continuing into 2021 and beyond. That's available on our website, I think, right? In addition to, we can go on to the next slide. We also have our Rogers Park Community Profile and Visitor Guide, which is also available in a digital format on our website, although the 2020 ones were distributed in print too, as little print booklets. We're hard at work on the 2021 edition, which should be coming out soon. And this sort of highlights, not only like the key facts and demographic info and history of the neighborhood, but also features all of the great unique businesses that make it such a special community. If we could go on to the next slide. I'll pitch it over to Carolina to talk a little bit about our business marketing, although this one in particular is one that I was more involved in on the retention attraction side. For Howard Street, we did an outdoor ad campaign with bus shelters featuring different businesses from Howard Street and encouraging people to visit. We also did professional photography so that we can have additional pictures to choose from when we go to do that next ad campaign. And we're also going to be replacing some of the street pole banners. So here we've got Lewis from I'm So Hungry, Patricia Gonzalez at Athena Board Game Cafe, and Jay Johnson, who's one of the area property owners and developers. Here we go with the COVID-19 response slides. I always mess up the order. But that was the biggest piece of our efforts this year for business retention. And Devon Avenue SSA 43 decided to sort of take a two-pronged approach to helping businesses weather the COVID crisis. The first one, during the lockdown, we repurposed some funding that had been put into the budget for some summer events and shuttle service, and started placing large catering orders from a rotating list of district restaurants to send food orders, large lunches and dinner orders to our first responders at Swedish and St. Francis hospitals, as well as the 24th District Police and a couple of area fire stations, as a way to ensure that the restaurants were still having income, and also helping to support our frontline workers really dealing with the COVID crisis in the community. The second piece that we did, if you go back, the reason there's a picture of my car stuffed to the gills in the corner there is that SSA 43 commissioners also decided to do a bulk purchasing program for masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer. So every business in the district got several goodie bags. We did it 3 times where we distributed each business got a care package of basically PPE and hand sanitizer. So those were sort of the 2 big approaches that we did with SSA 43 on Devon. The other SSAs set up rebate programs to help provide rebates, cash awards to businesses to help offset increased costs due to the pandemic, particularly around the PPE, the masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, air filters, and all of that. And then sort of a second tranche that was geared toward helping people really move into e-commerce and digital marketing. So website hosting, website redesigns, online ads, Grubhub advertising fees, all of that was eligible for rebates as well for businesses in the other 3 districts. So we had good, strong interest in that program. So we continue to pay attention to what's going on and planning to support our businesses as the coronavirus continues into 2021.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah, thanks.
So as Cindy mentioned, we also have the Business Improvement Program, or what we call BIP. You may have also heard it called Facade Improvement Program. This program incentivizes businesses to improve the look and feel of their facade in order to better market themselves. So the way the program works is businesses receive a reimbursement of up to 50% and up to $5,000 of the costs to improve their facade. For example, if a business wants to get a new sign or new windows or new lighting, this program would be for them. Here we can see some of the before and after of the awards given this past year. Grow Progresando got us a new sign, our office over on Clark Street. Neighborhood Market transformed the entire facade into glass windows, which looks amazing. And Tamalito got a new sign over on Clark, the new restaurant over by Clark and Rogers and Jarvis. And then there's the ever so popular Live, Love, Shop Rogers Park rebate program. This Shop Local program incentivizes customers to shop in Rogers Park during the holidays by offering a cash rebate to those who can demonstrate that they have spent up to $200 between the day after Thanksgiving and December 31st. That's right, we have upped the ante this year. This is because we're trying to do whatever in our power to support businesses during this very difficult time. So there are actually two rebate options. If you provide receipts from independently owned businesses totaling 150 or more, you receive $50. And if they total 200 or more, you receive $75. If that's not an incentive, I don't know what is. So if you haven't already done your shopping, you have until December 31st to shop and save your receipts. You can see here some of the numbers, data from previous years, number of businesses who have participated, number of rebates we've awarded, number of receipts we've received, and amount of money that has been spent in the past. And this is actually 2019. So. In addition to Live, Love, Shop Rogers Park, this year we hired a professional artist to create a gift guide for Rogers Park. We're utilizing this gift guide as a marketing tool for businesses. You can find the gift guide on our website, rpba.org, where you can learn about gifts that can be purchased for the holidays here from your own home. As we mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, safety is one of the categories in an SSA's budget. Our SSAs utilize these funds to install and maintain security cameras around the neighborhood to help the community feel safe in case of any unfortunate event. You should know that these cameras are in fact connected with the Chicago Police Department's camera system as well. As we all know, a safe community is a happy community. So now let's move into business marketing. This is different. There's business district marketing, which markets the district, and then there's business marketing, which markets the specific business. So these are initiatives which help market the specific business as a whole and Chicago as a whole. At this time, I would like to introduce our marketing and events manager, Ana Bermudez, who handles all of our marketing at RPBA. She can wave if you can see her. We'll probably introduce her again afterwards when I'm not presenting so you can see her face. Ana, thank you very much for all the great and succinct work you do for the SSAs. Ana handles all of our events, our website, social media, and promotional material at RPBA. As you know, nowadays an online presence is immensely important. So here you can see some of us SSA's Facebook and Instagram pages managed for the SSAs. Ana does a great job of engaging with social media visitors by liking and sharing content often. In fact, during a week's time, there are approximately 30 posts that go out into the world marketing the SSAs. Please be sure to engage with us and visit the websites or follow the pages on social media. I'm going to leave this up for a second. Something that the SSAs are very proud of is having hired a PR firm a couple of years ago. This has really helped increase exposure for Rogers Park to the city at large. Our public relations firm, the Silverman Group, has been phenomenal at putting our face out there, literally, right, Rebecca and Sandy? That was a joke. We find this initiative very important because shifting the conversation about how Rogers Park is a dangerous neighborhood is one of our main goals at Rogers Park Business Alliance. Here you can see some of the media outlets where Rogers Park or a Rogers Park business was featured this year. This is not all of them, this is just some of them, but it includes WBEZ, Chicago Tribune, Sorry, Chicago Tribune is over some text here, but I had some technical difficulties earlier this morning. WGN, WTTW, Time Out Chicago, the Block Club, ABC, I don't know if I said that already, NBC. So we are definitely out there, guys. So now back to Cindy. Oh no, never mind. That's not true. The SSAs also take part in the nationwide campaign called Small Business Saturday, which takes place on the Saturday after Thanksgiving and encourages customers to go out and shop locally. For Small Business Saturday, RPBA provides participating businesses with ample tools to promote their specials, as well as a robust social media campaign on that Saturday, which highlights them on more than one social media platform. Every year, we stand out on Small Business Saturday and hand out tote bags with goodies at a welcome station to pump up shoppers as they begin their shopping journeys for the day. However, again, this year was special, so we had to put our thinking caps on. What we did was we hosted 10 Instagram live events on Small Business Saturday where one of our contractors, Big Buzz Idea Group, went out and interviewed business owners inside their business so that the world could learn firsthand about the business from the comfort of their own home. It went really well, actually. The videos are still up on our Instagram page if you'd like to take a look. And then, yes, now back to Cindy.
All right. Thank you, Carolina. We've been hard at work already, planning for 2021. 2020 admittedly has been a difficult year. It's one where everyone has had to pivot. And it's not the year that, we thought we were heading into, this time last year, but we're excited for some of the stuff that we've got coming in 2021. If you pull over to the next slide, please. One of the projects that will be coming in 2021 is we're going to be replacing the light pole banners along Clark Street and SSA 24 to bring that branding in line with what was developed during the Vision Clark Street program, keep everything consistent and bring a lot of more color to this corridor. We're really excited. We're going to have some multilingual banners that are really developed to reflect the diversity and vibrancy of the Clark Street corridor and featuring some of the individual business names on the new banners as well. So be on the lookout for those coming soon in 2021. And we do have our event calendar. There's a lot on it. We're really going to be doubling down on our provision of technical assistance and entrepreneurship development and support through our Grow Progressando program, as well as the community events that we're continuing to plan for, but doing it in such a way that those events can be pivoted to a virtual format to the extent that that's necessary, depending on public health guidelines. So 2021 is already something that we're gearing up for, and we're excited about it. We hope you are too. We think it's going to be a good year, and that our team is ready for whatever 2021 throws at us. If we go on to the next slide.
If I could just jump in real quick to talk about, although I don't have a slide for this, we do. I do want to make you aware that in 2021, there are going to be some community meetings and stakeholder task force meetings in regards to the Clark Devon Streetscape Improvement project, which is a $3.8 million project. That is not, construction is not scheduled to happen until 2022. However, there will be lots of moving parts happening in 2021. The community is going to be able to choose, the direction in which the project is going to go, including the aesthetics, like, what kind of benches, what kind of pavers, what kind of landscaping, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in learning more about that, just make sure to follow us on our website, where we post a lot of our news and events.
Yeah, new business openings. So as difficult as this year has been, it wouldn't be right to not celebrate the wins. We've actually had quite a few new businesses open in all of our business districts during 2020, despite the pandemic, including a whole bunch in SSA 24, Clark Morse Glenwood, including Red Room Hookah Lounge, Dilcheria La Fiesta, which is reopening this year after a fire, T-Mart Apparel on Morse, that's gotten a great amount of media attention and was involved in the tornado tree replacement fundraiser, and homegrown wrappings, all in SSA 24 on Clark Morse and Glenwood. SSA 54 gained a tropical smoothie cafe and halal guys, as well as Samia's Latin Kitchen, which I'm told is fire. They have an incredible patio at the corner there of Sheridan and Pratt. And then on Howard Street, we saw the opening this spring of Athena Board Game Cafe, which is great if you're doing your holiday shopping and you need to get some puzzles or gaming stuff for folks. And then we included Jarvis Square Tavern as well, the former Point Pooch and Still space in Jarvis. Jarvis is not currently part of SSA 19, but in 2021 it's going to be, and we're really excited about that. So there's also a couple of more businesses that we didn't have graphics for. Again, a lot more Clark Street folks. Jimmy's on Clark, Burgoo Chicago, and there's a third one that I'm forgetting, Chicago Ray Records. So very busy year for openings on Clark Street, which is really exciting, and I think really points to the success that we've had with the Vision Clark Street program, and excited to see what's coming around the corner in 2021. So that's the last of the slide deck. I'll pitch to Sandy to bring us home.
You're muted, Sandy.
Yeah. If you can get rid of the slide deck, we can introduce the rest of the staff that are here. So everybody, thank you so much for coming today. Oh, there everybody is. We do have some of our staff. So yes, Cindy and Carolina do the bulk of the work for our 4 SSAs, but we do have others who help and support them in their efforts, including Anna Bermudez, Anna Wave. So Carolina mentioned that Anna does all the marketing for not only the SSAs, but also for RPBA and any kind of promotion stuff. She works with the PR firm and all that kind of stuff. Brandon Harding is on the call. Hi, Brandon, but we can't see you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
So Brandon is the maintenance director. He supervises the crews that pick up the trash. He also supervises the, if there's banners that are down, lighting that needs to be fixed. Brandon is the one that's out there either taking care of it or working with the vendors to make sure that's done. Kurt Rochley is not on the call. He's a new staff this year. We received funding through the Illinois Special SBDC, through the state of Illinois, and Kurt is the SBDC director at the Rogers Park Business Alliance. And Ed is on the call today. Ed is working on a program also with the Illinois SBDC at Rogers Park Business Alliance. Rachel Bowen is our membership and communications person. So we are membership based, and Rachel is the one who does any kind of business services, with the members and others. Rebecca Fernandez is on the call. She's, well, on my screen, she's on the top. Hi, Rebecca. Rebecca works with our Grow Progress Ando entrepreneurial training program, and she works with mostly Spanish speakers, but also English speakers, and she she does our trainings in Spanish. And then Sherry Murato, who is not on the call today. She's attending a different training, but she is our sustainability director. She runs our farmers market, and she does the entrepreneurial training program in English. So that's the Rogers Park Business Alliance. And I want to thank everybody for coming. I don't know, Carolina, did you want to see if there's any Q&A, see if anybody has any questions about anything that we learned today?
Yeah.
So if anybody has any questions, just feel free. We're a small group. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Comments are accepted as well. You know, words of encouragement like, well done, Carolina.
Oh, we can see Brandon now. Well, I don't see on any, Jennifer, you unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I apologize. I'm driving. I'm mute because I wanted to say, well done, Carolina. Cindy and Sandy, I think you guys gave a great presentation, and I will be honest, I'm surprised that so much was able to happen in this particular year, and that you guys weren't just hiding at home under the covers, but you were doing so much work for the business community, and seeing it all at one time, all in one place, is really, really impressive. So I didn't say who I was. This is Jennifer Clark from Loyola University. But thank you guys so much for doing it. I think it's been a really impressive year given all the circumstances.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being commissioner for SSA 54.
Anybody else?
Ellen, did you want to ask a question? I saw you unmute yourself.
Oh, no, actually, I didn't, but I will now that you called on me. I found your presentation very interesting, and I agree, great job during the pandemic. And I thank you. I thank RPBA and Cindy for working with me on obtaining a sign for Robert's Fish Market on Devon. And I learned a lot more by attending this, and I look forward to working with you more. So thank you.
Ellen, tell
Thanks
us
for coming out.
your organization, Ellen.
Oh, yes, I'm Ellen Doppelt, and I'm with the Jewish Neighborhood Development Council of Chicago, and we act on behalf of the community to advocate for projects and work to get those projects done to strengthen the community.
Awesome. We're happy you're here. Thank you for coming out.
Thanks.
I just want to really quickly acknowledge some of the commissioners who are here. I see Sarah Lukens from SSA 54. I see Roberto Arista from SSA 24. Wave to us. Roberto, there you go. Chris Johnson is our chair at SSA 24. Al Goldberg, our treasurer at SSA 24. Nick Koziak, SSA 24.
Wow, SSA 24 is pretty represented today.
Yeah.
Wave, Nick, okay. Alasia, SSA 24. And then, we have Irene from SSA 24. She can't see her.
Yes. Sorry, my camera doesn't work, guys. I don't know what happened here. So, but it's okay. I don't look that great today.
And finally, as we mentioned earlier, Jennifer Clark from SSA 54. Thank you all. I didn't see any other questions. Am I right?
Hold on. There's something in the chat. Let me look real quick. Nope, we're good. Well done, Carolina. Well done, Carolina.
Okay, great. Well, thank
Everyone
you.
have happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much for giving us an hour of your time. We really appreciated it.
Thanks a lot. Have a great holiday.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Happy holidays,
everybody.
everyone. Happy holidays, folks. Stay safe. Ya el último ya me salió.